What's up, everybody? This is Samy from Lost Society, and you are watching GRIMM TV.
Last year, you ended it quite, let's say, epically by the best tour ever. Seemed like you had a lot of fun. Seemed like you had a lot of fun in that.
Yes, we did, absolutely. You know, we had the great honor and pleasure of being the last metal band on the Nosturi stage. For everyone who doesn't know, Nosturi is an absolutely legendary venue in Helsinki. And we were the last metal band to play a full show. I think we were the last band actually to play a full-length show, as it is. And you know, we had great times, we had great shows, we had great bands with us. And I think it was just a great way of showing that, you know, the new generation is definitely here. I mean, the music scene isn't going anywhere. The heavier, the rockier, the poppier, you know, what be it, but you know, it's the music scene is breathing well in Finland, and we're here to make sure of it. And you know, I mean, best tour ever part 1. The second one, I'm sure, will be at some point.
Do you have like any really good memory that sticks out for you of Nosturi?
Of Nosturi, the first show I think I saw in Nosturi actually was, I think it was in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. It was Terror, the band Terror. It was this Impericon Never Say Die tour. And you know, my buddies who got me into hardcore, stuff like that, they were like, you gotta come check it out. I hadn't heard of them at that point, which is weird, but I went to the show and, you know, it was 10 minutes in, I was stage diving, I was just going crazy. It was such a good show. That was the first memory I have of the venue, actually. But you know, I mean, I have tremendous amount of respect for the venue as it is, because it was the only place, I may be mistaken, but I think it was the only place where also the underage kids could come see us. So that's why it generated a lot of good shows for us also during the years. And you know, it's a bummer that it has to go.
Yeah, it is. It was one of those places that only works, like where certain bands only work.
Exactly.
Like other venues in Helsinki, some events or some bands would just simply not work as well as they work.
Oh, exactly. And I mean, the fact that, or actually it could be that before I went to that show, because it was also the rehearsal places. Yeah. So I think I've been to many of them, you know, with different projects, tribute bands, stuff like that. Every time I came to Helsinki, I ended up there somehow. But you know, it was a cool structure and everything. So yeah, we hope they find a new space.
Yeah, that part is also kind of a big loss for the at least the local scene.
Exactly.
Rehearsal spaces and stuff. So yeah, there was the best tour ever, kind of like a showcase of like the new wave of Finnish heavy metal, so to say.
Right.
Actually, a couple of days before that in Helsinki, there was also a Horse Fest.
Oh yeah,
which was kind of in a similar way, kind of approaching it.
Absolutely.
And you can see there's like some really interesting like diversity and a lot of really interesting bands coming up.
Exactly.
And even outside of Finland, I think it feels like metal is getting like a new life. Or
it is. I mean, you know, I've always kind of been against the whole mantra of, you know, punk is dead, rock is dead, all of that, because I think it's bullshit. I mean, at any point, at least during the 24 years I've been alive, I have never seen the rock genre or the metal genre kind of sink or anything. I mean, it's always been alive, but I think it totally depends on the listener and how much work they're willing to put into finding these new bands. But of course, just purely because of the fact that, you know, there's social media and everything, it's just easier to find these thousands and millions of bands that come out of every hole in the world. So I mean, yes and no, but you know, it's the metal world is definitely thriving.
Yeah, it just like the past couple of years seemed like every year it gets harder and harder to like figure out what was like the best albums of the year, and stuff like that, because there's so much good stuff coming in every subgenre, every genre is like
exactly. Especially, I was just talking to my buddy a few days ago that it's really funny because last year it felt like at some point there weren't too many records coming out. Of course there was Slipknot and everything like this, but this year 2020, in the first 3 months of the year, there's so many records coming out, and there was already the new Apocalyptica record came out. The same day as our record will come out, there'll be Ozzy coming out with a new record finally. It's going to be Mokoma from Finland also, and just like a tremendous amount of good records. So it's going to be a good year musically.
Again. Is there actually any album that sticks out of last year for you?
Out of last year, pretty much I'd have to say that probably like out of the really rock or like the metal stuff, probably Slipknot, probably the new Slipknot. So I've been listening to the most at least. But I mean, there was a lot of really cool stuff coming out last year.
Kind of non-metal then?
Non-metal, I mean I think wasn't it last year, the Billie Eilish record that came out. I think that was one of the best records I've ever heard. Something really fresh and cool. I've blasted that shit so much. Yeah. And I mean, there's probably some other stuff also that I just can't think of right now. Also, it wasn't an album, but the two single song, EP that came from Ghost was really killer. Was it 6 inches or 8 inches of Satanic Panic?
Right.
Fucking brilliant.
Where they went back to the
70s or so. Yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah, and the videos that went with that were kind of brilliant too.
Hell yeah.
I guess that's about it. Anything you want to add still?
I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for interviewing me. Stay tuned. Check out our social media pages, our website, our Facebook, and whatever there is.
See you soon then.
See you soon.